What is up, guys? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to the D&D Sports Show. Um, we got a couple sports topics to go over today. We're gonna do some trivia, and we're just gonna have a good time. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing just fine. Want to give a quick shout out. As you know, the elections have been going on over, obviously yesterday into today with the amount of mail-in votes. But I'd like to give a shout out to uh, Coach Tuberville from Auburn. I mean, he is the senator of Alabama. He was the coach at Auburn from I think 98 to 2008, and long ways come since his college football days.
No kidding. What a change of pace for him, I suppose.
Those people in Alabama love their football, so
It's true.
he did spend the majority of his career with Auburn, so that that kind of helps you, especially run
Oh, it
for,
gives you
gives you a
that
little
helps
bit of
pad your
advantage.
resume a little bit.
Um, you know, Coach Tuberville never really amounted to much as a coach. He did have one undefeated season where he got robbed out of the college football playoff, going 13-0 and finished third in the NCAA. That was the year that USC and Georgia also went undefeated.
What a year that was, though. I mean, looking back on it, dude, those teams were stacked back.
Yeah, ultimately, they were the one that got snubbed, and they did win their bowl game and finished second overall.
I mean, that was such a weird time when they, the
That was
college.
also the year that the team from that team from the Pac-12 that nobody ever talks about went undefeated. You know who that is?
No, I cannot say off the top of my head.
Utah, 12-0 that year
Mm,
as well.
I
Texas,
forgot.
Texas, Texas had a shoe in for I believe that was the year that they lost. Their only loss was to Oklahoma, I believe. This is just a lot of craziness in 2004.
That was back when, they had the committee decide like just the top two teams that went in. It's a weird circumstance to look back on and think how things have changed or how far I guess college football has come since those years.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of crazy, but it's
Times
something.
change.
It's something. Yeah, exactly. Uh, it's got to be one of the most successful years in terms of undefeated seasons now because everybody plays one game where they're supposed to go undefeated and they
Blow it.
blow it at at the end or something of
And
that
at
nature.
least, it's better than self proclaiming you're the national champions for going unbeaten in a season. Um, but, you know,
That was
switching.
that
Go
was
ahead.
ultimate. That was ultimately that was the year that that was the not that was not the year that was the year after Vince Young. Uh, that was the year after they won the. Oh, because that would have been the
I thought that was
2005.
06.
Or this was the year before that, I think. Maybe then. I don't know.
Because that was it 06 or 08 was that Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah, it was '06. Yeah, so this is when they beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl, and he proclaimed that Texas was back.
Now look at Texas.
Uh,
Sorry.
you know, you know, they're in the Big 12, unfortunately, so they'll never really,
Is there a chance we ever see Texas come out of the Big 12 and go to a different division, or do you think that's just still set?
I mean, they own the Longhorn Network, and the Big 12 is totally okay with them having the Longhorn Network. And until that ever comes to a bypass, there's no way that they'll leave.
That's fair, but
I don't think. I mean, I don't think it benefits them at all. I mean, it just doesn't.
I mean that was kind of like I never thought Mizzou would go from the Big 12 to the SEC. I don't know why they actually did. Um, I mean I think they were just fine playing Big 12 teams, but it is what it is at this point. Now let's talk about what some might call an interest. This game is going to be quite intriguing, due to COVID hitting this Packers team actually pretty hard. Jamal Williams will not be playing due to AJ Dillon testing positive, and those two being in close contact over the course of the week. So if Aaron Jones is out as well, they have two running backs on their roster: Dexter Williams and, well, now I can't see it on my screen. Just went black. Hmm. But anyway, they have their four string running back and their practice squad running back maybe having to suit up for this game due to COVID hitting this offense. Now, according to the power index on ESPN, the San Francisco 49ers have a 20% increase over the matchup predictor, which means that more than likely the 49ers may take this game due to it being played in San Francisco and the Packers potentially not having Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Jones as well.
Yeah, it's one of those games where, this power index has been going back and forth as more and more gets announced. And I do think that, unfortunately, the Packers did get hit with it at a pretty bad time, with them coming off of a loss already. Morale was kind of down after, Dalvin Cook ran all over them. The Bears lost last week, so that was that was a positive going into this next week. So I do think the 49ers, with Nick Mullins at the helm, I do think that they definitely should have the advantage here. Do I think that Aaron Rodgers, if he plays, will let them win? I doubt it. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, and I think he definitely has the capability to win this game, especially because, the 49ers have the injury bug. So they're, they also have a positive COVID test this week too. So it's kind of a toss up. We don't even know if this game will happen. So it's just something to look forward to. And, we will be keeping you posted on our Facebook page on the availability of both teams.
Yeah, because both teams had to shut down their facilities yesterday and today. So this potentially may maybe push back till Tuesday. The way the NFL is doing their rescheduling of COVID games, it's just kind of weird. I don't want to say weird, but it's just kind of out there, like pushing it back to Tuesday. Making short weeks even shorter, redoing schedules like in the blink of an eye and on the fly. It's just you do not know what to expect out of this game come tomorrow. So the most we can do is just take it hour by hour, give you all some updates, hit the socials, take a look at it, and hopefully we play tomorrow because I'm anxious to see how these two overcome this adversity this week.
Yeah, it should be a good game regardless of who does play. But with that being said, there's a few more football topics that we need to address. A couple of big stories in the NFL coming into this weekend. Josh McCown is no longer getting paid to sit on his butt. He is signed by the Houston Texans to be the backup. He was, as many of you know, we may have talked about it on here, but he was the practice squad quarterback who didn't practice. He just sat at home, and he was an emergency quarterback for the Eagles. He is now on the Houston Texans, which is a lot closer to home for him because he lives in East Texas anyway. Matthew Stafford is put on the COVID list. He is eligible to play if he has a negative test all the way the rest of this week. He has to have it the rest of the week. There is a total. There's a total of 26 positive tests that have come in. 17 tests from personnel, 9 from players, or 8 from players. Excuse me. So, COVID is becoming a thing again. It is hitting some teams, so it is very important that everybody does abide by the protocols in order for us to finish out the season that is just under halfway through.
Yeah, and in other news, Javon Wims' 2-game suspension will be upheld by the NFL for unsportsmanlike conduct due to literally throwing his hands um, during his game on Sunday. Which did you watch the video?
Oh, I mean, I watched it live. I watched the game.
Mm.
I saw the punches thrown.
Didn't
I,
even
I
flinch.
I don't understand why people punch helmets.
Helmets.
I just don't understand it. It's one thing to give them a shot to the chin or something, but what is what it is. I mean, you might as well Andre Johnson him if you're gonna get a suspension. You might as well rip his
Go
helmet
all the
off
way
and
right.
just you might as well just Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan it. I mean, you might as well. In other Bears news, though, it hasn't really been an issue the last few weeks, but for those of you who have been following the Bears, the story coming into this season was the quarterback controversy. Well, it seems that there is no longer a quarterback controversy as Nick Foles has been, the starter over the last few weeks, but now he has no backup as well. As Mitchell Trubisky played one snap against the Saints and is reported that he injured his shoulder on a QB draw to the left side. And, it's just a real Bears thing to happen.
Unfortunate, but
It's unfortunate
Bears.
because, going into last season or last game, rather, there's a lot of people who are asking for Nick Foles to, maybe be on a little bit of a short leash as this defense has really been keeping them into games. And, with that being said,
Maybe McCown should have went to the Bears. I mean, just have a plan. Have a,
I mean,
a
he's
stick.
he's already got the jersey, right?
Right. Um, but also in Bears news, we're just going to continue a trend here with the Bears. Let's give a shout out and a happy birthday to Devin Hester. He is turning 38 years old today.
Man, he could still be playing.
I think he could too. I mean, that man was quick. Probably one of the best returners of all time.
Especially, that was during the era where they didn't protect the returners as much as they do now, where the field goal or with the kickoffs moved up, everything. That's one of those guys that I don't think anybody will ever touch his record, just because of the new rules and everything. I mean, do you want to just finish out the Bears rules or the Bears topics?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay, all right. Well, in big news, a lot of big, veterans have been getting released after the trade deadline, which is kind of surprising to me. I don't understand why this is the case, but Ted Ginn Jr. is no longer a Chicago Bear. He was released today. He only played 62 snaps and caught 3 passes. He has been in the league for 14 years, so unfortunately for him, it looks like his time is running out on his career.
Well, I think that's what we got for Bears news. But now I want to take it over to the NFC East because we got a couple headlines coming out of that division right now. Golden Tate was not at practice today. He is visibly frustrated about how he is being implemented and used in that offense. And Monday was no different from the past couple games where he got 1 target, I believe. And especially against, a not really good receiving core for this team. But do you think he should have a bigger impact with Danny Dimes, or do you think it's just because they don't have chemistry the way Darius Slayton and Daniel Jones have, like, compared to?
I mean, this is one of the guys, I preached about it before that somebody should have made a move for Golden Tate. He's visibly upset with his role on the Giants. He's a really good receiver. He could have made any team better. There's a lot of teams who could have really bolstered their receiving core with him. Especially like this Bears team that needs a second option. Obviously, they released Ted Ginn, so I think he would have fit in that number 2 slot. And then it wouldn't have put so much pressure on Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney. I think that he could have went to the Colts. After TUI, you don't really have a big name receiver that really has stepped up this year in regards to the passing game. And it's just one of those things with veteran guys who are used to, he's coming from the Lions where he was the number 2 receiver behind Marvin Jones before, Kenny Galladay really developed. And I mean, for his whole career, and then he was with the Seahawks, I believe, correct?
Mm-hmm,
He
correct.
started with the Seahawks. So I mean, you have two really good receivers that have really ultimately carried him through his career. Obviously had the 1 year. I think he had the 1 year with Philly, but I don't think he did a whole lot. I think only like 30 receptions. But other than that, I mean, he has had good quarterback play regardless. So with that being said, I think it's just time to, put out, I know obviously it's too late to get a trade now, but it's also, you got to earn this next playing spot at this point.
I mean, and if you look at his stats over the course of his career, he started in 2010. He has 3 years of over 1,000 rushing yards, and only one season with more than 5 touchdowns. So what you're getting out of him is not a number one esque receiver. You're getting a number two or a slot receiver out of him, which could fit very well in some of these high powered offenses that already have that number one, maybe number two kind of guy, but just someone to fill the void. So when the defense starts, manning up on the outside, you kind of can fit him in the middle and get him, 5-10 yard gains at a time when he needs to be used.
And he did definitely peak with the Detroit, and unfortunately injuries have kind of ridiculed his last 3 seasons. His last season with Detroit, the one with Philly, and then with the Giants as well. But somebody should have picked him up. Ultimately, it's too late now at this point. But it is going to be interesting to see how this develops and how this affects everything.
Moving forward.
Exactly.
But okay, so staying in the NFC East, you know how we played this game? Who's that quarterback for San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now this applies to the Cowboys because Ben DiNucci is no longer the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy has decided to go with either Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday.
I don't think it matters who you put at quarterback. They're not going to win this game. I do believe it'll probably be Cooper Rush, who has had experience in Dallas. I do think it will be him who favors getting the start. Gary Gilbert, obviously, former Texas guy. So I do hope for the best for him, but I do think that it'll probably be Cooper Rush. But I think at this point, a lot of the experts are saying, and I agree with them, reading up on it. I think it's time to take a step back. You don't have Dak. Get some of these young guys playing time. Make sure that your guys who are under contract don't get hurt.
And play for next year.
Play for next year. Yep.
Because they have the opportunity to get a top 5 draft pick out of this season.
While I do think they still have a chance to win this division with how crappy it is, I don't think that they'll do anything in the playoffs regardless. So I think at that point they're just hurting their stock at that point. But right now you're looking ahead. It needs to be the tank job needs to start. Starting with this weekend, obviously it's not gonna, you don't have to tank against the Steelers. The Steelers are gonna beat you. But looking ahead,
we have seen weirder things happen.
I know. Looking ahead, there's only 2 games that are probably slated to win. Would be like the Washington game and the Giants again. But I think it's next. It's time for next year. That's just my opinion, though.
I agree with that. And now let's talk about what everybody's talking about. AB. In an interview, he says he is grateful to be back in football. Now, do we think he has any relevancy like right out of the gate, or do we think he's going to take a couple weeks to develop in this new offense?
Oh no, he is instantly going to make an impact. I'm going to tell you this right now. This Tampa team is going to be a completely different offense. They can't double cover Mike Evans because Antonio Brown's going to beat them. And if they try to double cover them both, you have, Scotty Miller coming across the middle. You have Gronk coming across the middle. You have Chris Godwin as well, who people, really honestly forget about. So I do think that it's going to be a revamped offense.
Okay.
Regardless of how close the game was against the Giants, I do think they overlooked them and they were really preparing for the Saints. So I do think Antonio Brown is going to instantly make an impact, like he did on the Patriots whenever he came back and had that good game against the Dolphins before ultimately getting resuspended. So
we will see how this plays out. I mean,
yeah, ultimately it's one of those things where it could go either way. He could, be like babied into the offense, or knowing Tom Brady, he's in win now mode, so he's probably going to get him involved immediately.
yes. And in just other news, just real quick, I'd like to mention about Trevor Bauer currently. He rejected the Reds' tender to bring him back, but he decided that he wants to test free agency, but is willing to return. So, do you think he's trying to get more money out of him, or do you think he wants to see where if another contender is open to bringing him in?
So I do think that this involves just the amount of people who are in free agency. This is a very big option. There was over 40 options for team options that were all declined for stars that have been in the league for a while. Charlie Morton, Colton Wong, Chris Archer, Adam Eaton, Brett Gardner, John Lester, Corey Kluber, Mitch Moreland, just to name a few. But I do think that it has to do with the amount of people in free agency. I think if Trevor Bauer gets offered $5 million less to go to a team who's really, really ready to go, I think that he would be willing to sign. Or if a contender gives him a 1-year option for a huge amount of money, I think he would be happy to take it to go get a ring. And I mean, you think about it, he never injured. He's a 30-year-old coming off literally one of his best seasons in recent history. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to go back to the Reds, unfortunately, for all those Red fans out there. I do think he's going to go to a bigger market team. Possibly, the big favorite is the Mets, who have a big payroll available for him. I don't think that he will, but we'll just have to see. I think he goes to one of these playoff teams from this last year that were close, but just need to get over the hump. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. And I would like to retract what I said yesterday. I may have slipped up on my names. I completely switched Sonny Gray and Garrett Cole, due to me basically forgetting that Sonny Gray was a Red last year. So when I mentioned him for potentially being a Cy Young in the AL, I totally meant to say Garrett Cole. And the more I thought about it, and I went back and I listened to it because I wanted to double check to see if I did it, and sure enough, I talked about Sonny Gray being an AL Cy Young contender, which obviously cannot happen.
Well, I didn't want to completely, dog you for that one, which is why I, followed that up with not even including him in my list. But it is something that rewatching it, I did notice when we were going through AL, and I thought maybe he got traded towards the end of the season, but I did know that he started the season as a Red. So
I did.
it happens to the best of us.
It does, and I was thinking about it, and I go, crap, I totally messed that one up because I forgot the trade. I forgot about the trade, and so yes, on the air, I'd like to retract my statement yesterday regarding Sonny Gray and the AL Cy Young. So figured I'd get it over with, so we can move on with that. But we got any other news for the day?
No, we will be talking about how the off season all works out. It's just going to be fun to watch. There's a lot of big names, a lot of guys who've had storied careers that will be coming to a pass, and we'll see where they go with their careers. A lot of these guys spent all of their career, most of their career with one team. So it will be fun to watch and see where they go and if they can make a name for themselves somewhere else.
And we are definitely going to keep you guys updated as much as when we find out information. We'll either put it on the socials, maybe kind of clip a tweet or something. But we will definitely be mentioning these up to date as we go on the air regarding signings in all of our. So NHL, NFL, MLB, NFL when its season's over. But NBA, we're going to keep you guys all up to date on free agent signings and possibilities for landing spots for these stars. But moving on, how about we play some trivia of our own?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's another time for random trivia. The online kind. This isn't the head to head. That still will be scheduled for tomorrow, but it'll be fun to.
This one's just kind of just to see what we know and.
Yeah, these have a lot more random questions. We get to we obviously pick most of the categories for the other one. So
this one's just useful sports trivia that who knows. But all right, so we're starting on page 3 today due to the fact that we did 1 and 2 the last time we decided to do this. So, question number 21, if we're going numerically. What sport did Edson Arantes de Nascimento play professionally?
I'll let you go first.
I honestly have no clue. This sounds like a soccer name, so I'm going to go soccer.
I do think that this is a trick question, and I think that this is a baseball player.
All right, so soccer. Oh, he's better known as Pele.
I
had no idea.
Yeah, no, I did not know that. Oh, all right, well. All right, 1-0.
All right. What college football position receives the Jim Thorpe Award? You first.
Wide receiver.
Yes, wide receiver. No.
Oh, it's linebacker then, isn't it? Is it linebacker? Or it's D-back. I thought it was a wide receiver. Oh. Well, sorry, Jim Thorpe. My apologies.
All right. So we both got that one wrong. Who was drafted in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft? I feel like this should be obvious, but it's not. So I'm going to go Tony Dorsett, because I don't think it was Larry Bird, was it?
No, I think that this is Lee Trevino, but if Tony Dorsett would be my other option, but I'm trying to guess differently so I can catch up.
That's fair.
Oh, it was Bruce. Bruce Jenner, not playing basketball since high school, was drafted by the Kansas City Kings because he won the decathlon in 1976. The more you know. All right, 2-0.
Wow. Okay. Who did this Philadelphia 76ers draft with the last pick of the 1983 NBA draft? I really just want to pick this answer just because.
That has to be it. I feel like I just. Oh my goodness. Is this me? I guess I'm gonna go 49-year-old pharmacist.
I'm gonna go Dominique Wilkins because why not? So, okay.
Norman Horvitz.
Out of the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy. I'm throwing my lead.
They are poker buddies.
Funny.
That's iconic.
Right. But who was the Cleveland Indians catcher Harry Chiti? I apologize if I mispronounced that. Traded for in 1962. Bro, I'm going with himself.
Okay, so this, if I remember this correctly, I do believe it was a 3-team trade in 1962, and I think basically he went to a team who traded him to a team who traded him back for a team who basically just swapped draft picks. I'm going with himself. Yeah,
He was
for a player to so it was for that's right. It was for a player to
But after 15 terrible games, he became that player.
and was shipped back to the team. So yeah, he didn't pan out.
He never played another major league game. Wow.
Brutal.
So it is 2-1.
3-1 or 3-2.
3-1?
3-2. 3-2.
3-2?
Yeah, you got you got the first two right, correct?
No,
you got one right.
it's 2-2.
I got one right. So it's 1-1 and 2-2. Okay, that is 2-2. All right, cool.
All right. How many knobs, switches, and buttons does a Formula One steering wheel have? Is this me or you?
That would be you.
25.
I'm gonna go 15. Always go for the biggest number, I guess. Why the modern F1 might have more than 35. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Question number 27. What is NFL running back Dick Plasman's claim to fame?
What a good name.
Whichever one of these it is, what a great claim to fame. I mean, come on.
Only running back to play barefoot. I just have this gut feeling. That's my guess.
I'm gonna go first player ever drafted. Oh, we're both wrong.
Last player to play without a helmet. Then. Yeah, it was between the bottom two. He played in the NFL championship game before the league mandated helmets. Well, there you go.
All right. Well, this one should be pretty obvious.
Dick's probably the last guy to like have CTE immediately after playing. Like, you know, it didn't affect him like 5 years down the road. It's just immediately because he's taking all these hits to the head.
Right. Question 28, and this one should be pretty easy. What manager led the Boston Red Sox to their first championship in 86 years? Terry Francona.
Well, that would be Dick Williams. No, Terry Francona. Yeah.
And do we all know who they beat in 2004? Because I sure do.
I know that they beat in 2004 and 8, but yeah.
We don't talk about that, but all right. What boxer famously said that he should be a postage stamp because that's the only way he'd ever get licked? What?
God, that sounds like such a Mike Tyson thing to say, but I'm gonna go Oscar De La Hoya.
There's no R, so Mike Tyson wouldn't say it.
Oh yeah, you.
I'm going Joe Frazier.
Muhammad Al.
He also said, "I'm so mean, I make medicine sick."
I didn't realize that he was such a colorful guy. Interesting. So that what is it? 4-3? Is it 3-3? I don't remember if it's 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, because I haven't got.
We tied.
Yeah, we all. Yeah.
All right. Who was the first rookie quarterback to surpass 3,500 passing yards and throw fewer than 5 interceptions?
This would be you.
Dak Prescott.
It's probably Dak. I'll go Dak.
So wait a minute.
What?
Oh, okay. Tom Brady wasn't a rookie when he did that.
Yeah. Well, he also didn't play a full season. Not a complete I mean, he didn't start that game he got thrown into, so that he wouldn't have his rookie.
So it is 4-4 currently. Moving on to the second page.
To the double round. This is where separate the men from the boys.
All right. What boxer holds the record for youngest professional debut? I believe this is a you.
All right. I think those first two, while their names do sound like they would be young, I just have this gut feeling that they're trying to trick us. I'm going to go Teddy Baldock.
I'm going Kid Laredo.
Of course, it would be the baby one. It would be the baby one. You know, it's just, I thought it was too obvious. He's, wait.
10?
Oh, okay. My God.
Something doesn't sound right here.
All right. Well, I guess he fought another 11-year-old. Because
He had to have because
yeah,
if he
ain't
was
no way he fought
10.
he ain't no way he fought a 21 plus year old. All right, whatever.
All right, so still 4-4. What yachting race was called the 100? Oh God, I cannot. I always pronounce this wrong. The 100 Guinea Cup until a team from
Guinea.
the
It's
Guinea.
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 Yeah, it's like a
Guinea.
guinea pig. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
huh.
that's how you
I
spell
learned
guinea.
something new today.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I feel dumb. What yachting race was called the 100 Guinea Cup until a team from the U.S. won the race in 1951?
1851, Mr. Dyslexic.
Mm.
This would be. Oh, this is you actually. I guessed Teddy.
The Admiral's Cup.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you on that one. Actually,
It can't be. Oh,
until a U.S. team
yep.
won,
Never mind.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
America's.
I messed
I'm
up.
glad that you said that. I'm gonna go America's Cup because we knew that it was a boat race. Because if you watched last week's trivia, America's Cup, we knew was boat racing, and he even got that question right for boat racing. But I just read the U.S. team won in 1851, so they couldn't probably name it America's Cup because they didn't win, and then they finally won it. So
I didn't realize that this question was leading into the race was being changed, which really threw me off. Of course. So it is 6-4.
actually, if you look at the history that shows, it says that it was the schooner was named America, and they won, and they donated the trophy to the yacht club, and it was the America's Cup race was born. So interesting.
Well,
This game is not over by any means, but 6 to
it
4.
is 6-4 you. What golfer coined the term caddy?
Walter Hagen.
I'm gonna go young Tom Moores. Of course.
The obvious answer I have never not guessed all day, and this is what I get for it. I miss these questions because I'm like, it wouldn't be Mary Queen of Scots. It wouldn't be a queen. Of course it is. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. During her reign, the famous golf course at St. Andrews was built.
It was a shortened term for assistant cadets. So just say caddy. Fair enough.
All right. What was the first sport televised in the U.S.?
Man, I
want to say baseball.
That's what I'm saying.
But knowing us, it's going to be golf. But I'm going to stick to it. I'm going baseball.
I'm going baseball too. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Yeah. I thought it was a college.
Princeton and Columbia. Yeah.
Nope. I thought that was correct.
6-8.
Rugby.
Okay. I'm gonna have to read the question, sir. Chill.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
For the people who are watching on video.
For the Spotify guys. Here you go.
Right. What sport has a hooker in a scrum?
Yeah, it's the rugby. It's the guy who flips it out. He's the first guy to touch it, I think.
Yeah, because there's the one in the middle, and then everyone
it's the middle guy.
On.
The middle guy. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Question 36. Who was the only college football player to win the Heisman Trophy twice?
Ooh, I like that you get to go first.
Well, there's two possible answers, but I'm going with O.J. Simpson.
Wrong. It's Archie Griffin.
Is it?
Yes. Yep. He's the greatest football player. Or he's was in the Big Ten actually. Ohio State.
I did not know that. So it is now 6-10. Okay. I was reading. Sorry. Question 37. Who was the first golfer to win more than $1 million in official earnings in a single year? I believe this is a you.
I'm gonna go Arnold Palmer. I
think it was Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, I know who it is. I didn't read all of the options. I completely glanced over Curtis Strange. Yeah, because he was like oddly good for like 4 years, and then he fell off the face of the earth. Yeah.
Okay. 6-10 still. What professional sports league's MVP trophy is called the Podoloff Cup?
I'm glad this is yours.
MLS? I don't even. I'm going MLS.
I'm gonna go the BWBL. I don't know what it is, but
I don't know what
have
it is either.
Podoloff does sound like a soccer name, though. You're joking. Established the Podoloff Cup is the most valuable player award, and since 1981, however, it's been based off of a poll of professional. They call it the Podoloff.
Well, no wonder they just said the MVP.
What the heck?
I did not know that. Interesting.
Okay. It wasn't even a player. Like it was the commissioner. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Now, question 39. What sport is most common cause of eye injuries in the U.S.?
Well, there's only 3 options.
I don't think classify football. I mean, darts is a sport.
Apparently. I'm gonna go fencing. I have this gut feeling that there's a lot of poking to the.
But don't they have the masks?
They do have the mask, but I think they still can go through. I'm gonna go.
I'm going darts because just because. Baseball.
90% of them are caused by baseball. Believe it or not, I've had one eye injury in my life, and it was due to golf. Fun fact. My dad also had a accident with golf too. It's just golf is not our family sport.
What speed skater was the first American woman to win 5 gold medals in Olympic competition?
Believe it or not, I think I actually know this one, and the reason why is because I was on whenever we were talking about the Olympics last time. I looked up random Olympic facts, and I think I know who this is.
I think this is Mary Lou Retton.
You do know who Mary Lou Retton is, right? You already guessed it. I do think that this is Anne Henning. I think. I don't know for a fact. Well, okay. I don't know. What did Anne Henning do? I have to look this up now because we're done. Just for those who are curious, but you do know who Mary Lou Retton is, right?
Now I do. It blanked me for a second. Oh, of course. These are the ones I do know.
Who is it?
Isn't Mary Lou Retton the soccer player?
Oh my goodness. Are you serious? No. She's the gymnastics.
Look how much I pay attention to the Olympics.
Oh my goodness gracious. That is hilarious.
1984 Summer Olympics. She won a gold medal in the all-around competition. Oh, she's from West Virginia.
Why is she famous, though?
I don't know at this point. At this point, we're going to meme on me all day, so that's okay. I do it for the content.
Okay, so I'm gonna paint a picture for you, okay?
Paint that picture. Bob Ross that. Sorry. Bob Ross is legendary. Did you know she's worth $8 million?
Really?
Oh, she was the first gymnast American woman to win an individual Olympic gold medal.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to tell you that, but you looked it up. So, but yes. Anyway, Mary Lou Retton is that. I forgot what the name of the person I was gonna look up already.
Anne Henning.
Anne Henning. Yeah. Okay. I know.
See, I can help you with that. I just can't remember things.
What was the question? You have that pulled up still?
Mm-hmm. What speed skater was the first American woman to win 5 gold medals in Olympic competition?
Anne Henning started in short track speed skating. She won the silver. She at the Olympics. She has set the fastest time and new Olympic record. I guess I don't know. I mean, she won a gold, a bronze, and a silver. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I saw her name pop up with speed skating and just assumed it was her. But okay, well, I apologize to speed skating fans out there for letting you down. But another dub.
Bro, I want some curling question.
This is about to roll into tomorrow when tomorrow's head to head will be live on Facebook. So that is a little bit of a change up that we're doing.
I
It's
don't
just
even
a lot
remember what
easier.
my categories
It's
were.
a lot easier to just upload it to that instead of putting it on YouTube. So it'll be easier for you guys to watch, and we can play along as we do it live tomorrow. But with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Hopefully, we should be getting election results in here shortly. And
not till Friday.
Well, they should have a good knowledge. They said by tonight, but the official results are probably not going to come out.
As of right now, it is Joe Biden has 264, Donald Trump has 214.
That is also the unofficial results. Because
these are all going to be unofficial.
I know what I'm saying is a lot of these states are going to have to recount because it doesn't matter who wins. They're going to demand a recount anyway. It's because it's going to be close. And with that being said, though, politics aside, have a wonderful Wednesday.
Right.
We will catch you tomorrow. Anything else?
Nope. I think we're good. Tomorrow will be interesting to say the least. So I'm gonna give it my all. Maybe we'll see.
Go Packers.
Let's go.
You hear me say that. You always hear me say that very often, but I don't like the 49ers. So go Packers.
And you heard it here first. And make sure we soundbite that, guys, for the producers. I would like to keep that so I can play it back every now and then.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is gonna win, and then I'm gonna just then I'm gonna get to rub it in your face, even though he might not even play. So we'll see. Anyway,
just see how this game plays.
I'll clip it and I'll send it to you. So
all right, that sounds. I'm gonna put it on my soundboard for later.
All right. Well,
peace,
guys.
See ya.